do something about it, but I didn't feel comfortable discussing my dad with other people. But at my first Al-Anon family group meeting, I found people just like me.
Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon meeting from people just like you.
You're watching ZBM TV9, Bermuda.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the breakfast bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, January 12th, 2017. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. People needed to see just what we're dealing with at the L.F. Wade International Airport. That's the thinking behind Premier Michael Dunkley posting images of the leaking roof at the East End facility during last week's heavy rains. Mr. Dunkley telling Gary Moreno he feels no qualms about posting the image, which some have criticized as damaging to the island's reputation.
You posted some pictures, some images of what happened at the airport during the heavy rains of last week. In retrospect, I think that was a good idea because you took some criticism on social media for highlighting that.
I was aware of some of the criticism. I don't think there's anything you'll do in life that you're not going to get criticism from. But before I posted, I thought very clearly about what I was doing. It showed the glaring need, in spite of the millions of dollars that we spend in upkeep, the need to build a new airport. And, you know, I listened to the criticism. Was that the way we want Bermuda portrayed to the world? Well, Gary, to answer that question, anybody who visited on that day came through and saw for themselves. And sometime when people are arguing against an issue, you need to show them clearly why it's important to do that. And, you know, as somebody who deeply cares for the affairs of Bermuda and somebody who has a bit of a business acumen experience behind him, I'm not about to support keeping pumping millions of dollars into a facility that's well past its prime.
In other news, public servants sound a warning to government over the failure to retract the Public Service Commission regulations, as promised by Premier Michael Dunkley. Gary Moreno broke the story in December of last year and has the latest from the Bermuda Public Services Union.
According to a release from the Bermuda Public Services Union, permanent secretaries and heads of departments are demanding full transparency and openness as to when the Public Service Commission regulations will be revoked, as government stated would happen after the regulations were published in error on the 7th of December last year, the day after which Premier Michael Dunkley gave this response when asked about that situation.
Let me be very clear that there's been ongoing discussion for some time about these regulations, probably 2 years discussion about them. And also let me be clear that the PSC regulations fall underneath the remit of Government House, not the government. But the Government House has worked closely with us. So we put out a press release yesterday. I'm well aware of the details of the situation now, and I'll work through with colleagues involved and the civil service and the Government House to set it right.
The BPSU contends the version published in the local daily did not contain amendments which were approved by Cabinet, nor did senior public servants have sight of or approve the published amendments. Further, the consultation process had not been completed, with the new regulations possibly being in contravention of the Bermuda Constitution Order 1968, as they relate to new reporting lines for top-level civil servants, including the very head of the civil service, who is also secretary to the Cabinet. The new regulations as they stand, the BPSU says, mean that the civil service top brass will have to report to the Public Service Commission, which is appointed by the governor. This, the BPSU suggests, means the country's civil servants will have to report to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in the UK, something it's seeking assurances will not happen. The union also urging that, among other things, ministers responsible for creating policy not participate in the process of setting objectives for permanent secretaries, although they could be consulted during a permanent secretary's performance appraisal, and that the cabinet secretary and head of the civil service remains the person with responsibility for managing the public service, as well as setting performance objectives for civil servants who set objectives for head of departments, with the process continuing down the chain of command. The BPSU and its members making it clear that they fully support improvements to the civil service to raise performance standards, but wants full consultation involving permanent secretaries and their heads of departments to be completed with regard to these important changes in the public service. The BPSU emphasizing that this matter be resolved in the shortest possible time and that the Governor and Premier address the revocation order immediately. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Following up on our story last night on the Minister of Finance's announcement of a blue ribbon independent panel to review the airport deal, the opposition party tonight responding with outrage. Tarai Trott picks up the story from here.
Reacting to Wednesday's announcement, the Progressive Labour Party says it has been calling for an unbiased, independent review of the airport redevelopment since November last year. And the party describes Finance Minister E.T. Bob Richards' announcement of a hand-picked panel as, quote, contempt and disrespect to the people and their elected representatives. The opposition is outraged that the minister refuses to share the airport project details with MPs, but had chosen to share them with a panel with no legislative authority. The PLP calls this move arrogant and applies the same label to the minister's remark that the panel would likely come to the same conclusion that he did some time ago. Alaska Hall further questioning government's motives by pointing out that government did not consult with the opposition before appointing the panel, and they question the panel's terms of reference, which they point out has not been revealed. Questioning why the panel did not get to set its own timeline, a party spokesperson telling us to expect volunteers to review all the information and present a report in less than 3 weeks is wholly unrealistic and makes a mockery of their purported independence. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
When contacted tonight about this story, Minister of Finance Bob Richards offered no comment. Elsewhere, witnesses are being sought over a firearm incident in the St. Monica's Road, Mission Lane, Pembroke area. It is believed that the incident occurred around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, but was not initially reported to police. However, a report was subsequently made around 10:15 yesterday morning. Police officers responded to the area minutes later, where it was forensically confirmed that a firearm had been discharged. There have been no injuries reported. Anyone who may have seen suspicious individuals, vehicles, or activity in the St. Monica's Road, Mission Lane, Pembroke area Tuesday night should contact the main police telephone number on 295-0011 or the Confidential Crime Stoppers hotline. Of course, that's 800-8477. And we are very interested in hearing what you have to say about tonight's news, as well as your tips. Here's how to get in touch with us. We're on Facebook under ZBM News 9, and we're now on the mobile messaging service WhatsApp on 517-8579. Send us your news, video, audio, comments, and photos anytime. Stay with us. More news and tonight's weather forecast after the break.
If you're looking for extra savings and free benefits
with car insurance
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
There's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers too, and 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly.
We call it Cover Without Added Costs.
Call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit cgigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
as the temperatures drop in Bermuda, the restaurant scene heats up for the 6th annual Restaurant Weeks experience organized by the Bermuda Tourism Authority. Starting today, special deals on 3-course gourmet meals will be available for locals and visitors alike to dine out at selected restaurants, which will continue through to February 3rd. Premier Michael Dunkley, the opposition leader David Burt and his wife Kristen, the Bermuda Tourism Authority's Glenn Jones, head of stakeholder and public relations, were first up to dive right into the lunch special today, a new feature to this year's event at Lit Restaurant on Reed Street. They enjoyed wahoo caught from local waters yesterday by Lit owner Mr. Delvin Bean. The BTA's David Thomas, Special Projects Manager, spoke with us.
We're actually in the 6th year of Restaurant Weeks, and we have the most restaurants ever participating. We're up to 50 this year, and for the first time we have a lunch component, which is a pretty exciting thing for us. We have some restaurants that are partaking in the lunch and the dinner menus, and we're just hoping that everyone sort of gets on board and gets out there to eat.
For the full list of restaurants participating, go online to foodies.bm to choose from the 50 locations to dine.
Typically, what locals sort of gravitate towards is exactly what visitors want when they come to Bermuda. So we figure that if we can get restaurants on board, which they have done in a great way, to support the local scene, so to say, it only bodes well for visitors when they come to visit.
And have the price points changed this year?
They've gone up slightly. For the first time in the history of Restaurant Weeks, they've gone up for the dinner menus $3. So the lowest price point will be $32, $42, and $52, and lunch is a $22 price point.
Not only will you experience the best Bermuda has to offer food-wise during the month, you will also have a chance to vote for your favorite and win a free meal.
We have 2 sort of competitions, I guess we can call them. The first is the People's Choice Award. So we're encouraging people that go out and dine to go onto the restaurant, foodies.bm, and vote for their favorite Bermudian-inspired dish. You can go on the website, and it shows all of the Bermudian-inspired restaurants. It'll be depicted by a little Bermuda onion. And then on the other side, if you want to get a free meal for yourself, most people do it anyway. Take a picture of your food and use the hashtag BermudaRW, and you're entered into a draw for a meal on us.
To book your reservation or view menus, visit www.foodies.bm. Bermuda's first 2 cruise ships of 2017 cruise ship season arrived this morning in the West End, possibly the first time 2 very large Bermuda-registered cruise ships, the Oriana and Queen Victoria, are in Bermuda at the port at the same time. Tourism Minister Michael Fay will mark the beginning of what is expected to be another highly successful cruise year by being on hand in the West End as one ship is in for the day and the other for an overnight stay. The Cunard Line's Queen Victoria is on the first of its 2 visits for the year. Ship visits in January are rare, and these are the only 2 for the month, with Queen Victoria at Heritage Wharf and Oriana at King's Wharf. The total number of cruise ship passengers was up by more than 7% in the first 11 months of 2016, and the BTA says there is clear evidence that it is a continuing trend. Both of today's ships are out of Southampton in England. Our Wayne Snappy Asswood was down at the West End today, and he had a chance to interview these passengers just off the Oriana.
We've crossed the Atlantic so far as Bermuda from Southampton. The first 6 days were very flat. The last 2 days from the Azores to Bermuda, where we were expecting a lovely sunny day and a lot of warmth, but we haven't got that yet. But it's a bit of a relief for a lot of people who had a rough crossing for the last 48 hours. Many of them never left their cabins, from what I can gather.
Right. But you're enjoying yourselves on the Oriana, and your cruise started in Southampton.
Yes, the cruise started in Southampton a week ago last Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. And how long is the entire cruise?
The entire cruise is 50 days. We end up, the furthest away from Southampton that we get is at Manaus, which is 1,000 miles up the Amazon. And then from there we go back across via the Cape Verde Islands and Tenerife, which for yours truly is like carrying coal to Newcastle, we say, because we had an apartment there for 20 years and we know it pretty well.
Are you aware of anything about Bermuda?
Well, we know that the sea is supposed to be blue, and we're also told that it's pretty expensive for us English people.
It's expensive for the locals as
yeah,
well.
Yeah. Well, we went to Norway earlier in last summer, and that's expensive as well. So we're pretty well trained up to expect it.
Meanwhile, this cruise ship visitor was pleased to be in Bermuda and was in search of something only Bermuda could give him.
I'm David Herb, with my wife Dorothy, and I'm here with Ian and Jean, and we're looking forward to going around the island with Earl here. We've just been introduced to him. He seems very charming. Well, you're very charming as well. It's a privilege to be interviewed by you.
Great. And what are you looking for specifically on the tour in Bermuda?
I'm looking for a strong rum myself.
Yeah, you'll find that. And,
Good.
And be careful, not too many. Great.
And I think the Naval Dockyard, also you've got the America's Cup. Yeah. And, we in England are hoping that we might win it. We've got a strong team and a strong boat,
yes.
Jaguar Land Rover.
The Oriana can hold up to 1,900 passengers with 800 crew, while the Queen Victoria can hold up to 2,000 passengers and just over 1,000 crew. The Queen Victoria was due to sail out today, with the Oriana scheduled to depart tomorrow. And before we continue, we need to correct something that aired on our broadcast last night. It's to do with our story on the work permit surrounding the pastor of the Jesus House Church in Hamilton. In our report, we incorrectly showed this image of a man who has nothing to do with the story. We meant only to show the image of Jesus House pastor Ashoki Williams, and this is definitely not him. We apologize without reservation to the man in the picture, as it was shown in error, as well as apologize for any inconvenience caused to him. Now let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Tonight's forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group. I'm AccuWeather's Shanae Shocker. Cold front off towards our south and our east, and that's brought us a slight area of high pressure, but we're continuing to see a couple of scattered showers as well as plenty of clouds across the sky for today. Now, as we head throughout tonight, things are going to calm down just slightly. Our current conditions right now, 65 degrees for our temperature. Humidity has increased as well. We do have winds continuing out of the northeast, 16 to 22 knots. We continue to see small craft warning in effect out on the waters through Saturday. Now, water temperatures right at 67, so very steady here. Our waves are still pretty high, 5 to 9 feet outside the reef, and then within we're looking at around 2 to 3 feet as well. So for tonight, spotty showers. We'll continue to see those breezy conditions, but then we go towards tomorrow and we'll start to lose a lot of those clouds, and we're also going to be heading towards some lighter winds. So waves going to begin to die down for tomorrow. We do have a high tide tonight at 8:21, and we'll have our second high tide right around 8:48 tomorrow morning as well. So definitely be paying attention as you're headed out towards the water in the morning, because we are still going to see those waves just slightly higher than normal. As we take a look at our gateway forecast, we continue to see warmer temperatures across the northeast of the U.S. We are in the 40s for our high, moving in towards our Friday in New York and Boston. Out towards London, though, wintry mixture in store for us here, as we do see a storm passing over the UK. In towards the central Caribbean, Jamaica and Barbados looking pretty dry. Cold front has since dropped far off towards the south, and that's why we are continuing to see some showers out towards Trinidad as well. We take a look at our extended outlook. Now, Saturday, we do have the chances of maybe 1 or 2 showers as we have a weak cold front pushing through the region. But then as we move in towards Sunday night and in towards Monday morning, a second cold front going to approach, and that's when we'll see some of that precipitation head towards the later morning hours on our Monday. Overall temperatures dropping back down into the mid-60s as we head towards early next week behind that third front passing through. Make sure you stay up to date with anything the weather could have in store by tuning into your local radio stations, Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all of your weather news and updates.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Make a healthy salad, Bermuda-grown romaine lettuce, just $2.99 each. Save $3 on certified Angus beef, fresh bottom round roast, $5.99 per pound. Only $1.49 for a 5-ounce tin of ShopRite chunk white or light tuna in water. Dead and whole milk yogurts, just $1.49 for selected varieties of 5.3-ounce tubs. Kraft American cheese singles, $3.59 for an 8-ounce package. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Bermuda Broadcasting Company is pleased to inform our viewers Community Calendar will now appear on television. We are now providing Community Calendar 30 and 60-second television ads on ZFB TV7 at a special rate. You will have the opportunity to showcase your ad either 6:58, 7:58, or 8:58 p.m. Monday through Friday, a minimum of 7 days. For more information, please contact our Sales and Marketing Department at 295-2828.
Anti-racism group Citizens Uprooting Racism in Bermuda, or CURB, will launch a truth and reconciliation process to address the historical racial inequity in Bermuda. Starting in February, trained mediators will facilitate small group sessions comprising of 15 to 20 participants to find ways of creating social change for future generations. CURB President Lynn Winfield says the protests over the past year have brought these issues to the forefront.
The unrest in March and December 2016 and the subsequent unrest earlier this month demonstrates that we are a divided people. Though most Bermudians don't see each other as enemies, the disconnect is palpable. We speak of working together and unity. However, the racial divide is widening, economic disparity is growing between the races, and social media is both educating and, in some people's minds, inflaming passions. As individuals and as a community, we need to understand that the trauma of the past continues to play out in our community. We need to acknowledge, learn, and embrace our history. We need to honor and teach the stories of those who fought for freedom. We need to raise awareness that a legacy of prejudice and inequity continues.
Facilitator Cordell Riley says CURB intends to build on the most recent attempt at opening a national conversation about race since the big conversation in 2007. If you are interested in becoming a part of Bermuda's Truth and Reconciliation process, you may call 505-0112 or email admin@uprootingracism.org. Now here's Mike Sharp with the latest from the sports desk.
The first of 3 events in the 2017 Bermuda Marathon weekend is less than a day away, and 1,289 runners met the early registration deadline. Of those, 607 are overseas entries. There are 161 milers, 327 in the 10K run and walk, 58 in the full marathon, 261 in the half marathon, 71 in the full triangle challenge, and 411 in the half triangle challenge. Late entries will be accepted on Friday, January 13th from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at Pier 6 Upper Level on Front Street. Also on Saturday, January 14th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pier 6 Lower Level for the half and full marathon. Several of the elite milers arrived on Wednesday night.
Hi, my name is Christy Cazzola. I'm from Marietta, Georgia, and this is my first time in Bermuda. I raced the 800 meters and up.
So it sounds like you're here for the mile.
I'm here for the mile.
Best time?
Best time on a road mile is 4:29.
Have you heard about the 2 hairpin turns?
I have heard about them.
So how's training been going for you?
Training's going well. Just getting ready to race.
Right. Aspirations for the year?
Aspirations for the year? Just to make it back to U.S. Championships and place a little better than I have in the past.
I was here last year for the track race. It was an awesome track race that I came to run 800.
So you're back this year to do?
The mile. Anthony, I think last year we were planning on coming out, but ended up having altitude training, and I couldn't make it. And then came to the spring, so when I had the opportunity this year, I was just like, I had to go back to Bermuda. I have to. So it was kind of like a must that I put on the calendar. My best time is 3:54 for the mile. My name is Fraser Leguess.
I'm Dana Mecki. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I run the 800 and the 1500 and mile. So my fastest time in the 800 is a 2 flat 76. The 1500 is 4:12.25, and my mile is a 4:32.
You've never been here.
No, I haven't. I'm very excited to be here.
You, like so many others, this is the first time. How do you feel going into another country, first time event? Do you get a little jitters or?
Yeah, I get a little. It's more excitement, I think. You know, going to a place you've never been before and racing. It's more exciting, and being here on this beautiful island. It's going to be a good time. I know it.
My name is Ben Fletcher. I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico, in the USA, and I'm running the mile here. And the best time is 4:04 for the mile.
Been here before?
I have not been here before. No, first time.
What do you know about here?
I just know it's beautiful, and I've heard a lot.
I meant the course.
About the course, sorry. I've heard that it's a little tactical. It's can be difficult with the wind and the weather. Yeah, that's about it.
What about the field? Have you looked over the list?
Yeah, I think it's a great field because you have 3 guys who are pure milers, and then you have 3 who are kind of on the outskirts and more half marathon, and then you have myself who runs a bit of both. So it should be an interesting matchup.
Hi, I'm Elena Brooks. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I run the 800, and this will be my first mile. I'm excited to be on the road. I've been to Bermuda last year, actually, for a track meet. I ran the 800 and placed second. I had such a great time.
So you was here for the permit meet?
I was. It was so good. I enjoyed the kind of junkinu dances. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So you're doing the mile?
I am. So I'm really excited about that.
So did you have any inclination when you was here for the permit meet that you'll be back to do the mile? And if so, did you see the course?
No, I had no idea. But I knew after the permit meet that I wanted to come back. And this opportunity arose, so I grasped it.
My name's Travis Mahoney. I'm from New York. My specialty is the steeplechase, but I also run the mile, and I have a personal best of 3:58. Just got in last night, but excited to check out the course and check out the city and see what Bermuda has to offer.
Sounds like you're doing the mile?
I'm doing the mile, that's correct.
Have you heard about the hairpin turns?
I've seen it on a map. I haven't seen it in person yet, though.
It's a tough course with those 2 sharp turns, but I think we've had like a 4:02. I think is the fastest.
I saw a pretty fast time for having those sharp turns. I like to think that because I run the steeplechase and hurdle and it breaks up running, that maybe I'll be good at a little bit more technical of a course.
Okay, I'm Chloe, obviously from England. My main event is 800 and 1500. My best time in 15 is 4 minutes and 19 seconds. In the 800, 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
That's not bad.
No, not bad.
Not bad. No, I've just spoke to several Americans. They look hungry too.
Yep. Yeah. Well, some of these guys are really good, but I'm going to give it my best shot and see what I've got.
Sure.
You never know.
Yeah. It's just a mile again, or maybe the 10K on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm going to do the 10K, probably just for training. But again, it's hard to get in a race and not be competitive. So I'm sure when I get on that start line, the adrenaline will start going.
Hello. My name is Leah Wallace. I run the 800 meters. I've run 2 minutes in the event. I also have run the mile in 4:28. This is my first time to Bermuda. I'm really excited to be here, and training's going amazing. Running every day, and I'm healthy. So.
Okay. So you're American?
I'm an American.
What part?
Oh, Sacramento, California.
Just the one event, the mile, or maybe doubling up with the 10K?
I don't know if I can squeeze the 10K in before my flight, but that's my goal. My flight's at noon, and I don't know what time I have to be at the airport, but I pray that I can be on the line for the 10K too.
So you're dashing out on the Saturday.
I know, but I'm going to make the most of this trip.
My name is Ford Palmer. I'm from the United States of America. I run the mile, and my best time is 3:53.3, and that was a road mile in New York City. And I haven't been here before, but it's gorgeous, and I'm excited for the race.
Yeah. What sort of training have you done for this?
A lot of miles. I'm running 80 miles a week right now, and I'm training in the snow in New York City, so glad to be here.
Hopefully it's not going to be too rainy or blustery down there on Front Street.
As long as it's not snowing, I'll be fine. Yeah.
You're over there sitting with a group of milers and other athletes. What's the camaraderie like here? Do you know any of these other athletes?
Oh, yeah. The track circuit's a very small circuit, so we all know each other well. We keep in touch, and it's just like seeing an old friend every race.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Every day, a tsunami hits Bermuda. A tidal wave of information and images floods our phones, laptops, and tablets. We're awash in emails, posts, tweets, blogs, texts. As an advertiser, your message can easily get drowned out. Time to reach for the life raft. Technology changed the game, but television and radio still lead the way. Who doesn't have an all-time favorite TV ad?
Aflac, where's the beef? You can count on us.
The man, your man could smell it.
TV remains the most powerful advertising tool in the world. For immediacy and engagement, you can't beat radio. Here at Bermuda Broadcasting, we can help you reach thousands of people at the same time. You might have a new small business or run a corporation. We can customize ads to help you build awareness and attract new customers. TV and radio advertising gets results. Call me, Diane Brewer, and I'll show you how.
That's our broadcast for tonight. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup are provided by Gibbons Company. Chanel products were applied by Ubon and Alana and are available exclusively at Gibbons Company.
You're watching ZBM TV9 Bermuda.
Chrysler's Big Dodge. The U.S.